am Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of Michael, and today we're going to be talking about...
Today we'll be making one of my favorite soups.
Welcome to the DR96 Challenge.
I am Animated Mel, and I am your mental and wellness coach for
As always, perfection is not needed, but consistency
We must
is
first lovingly accept what is. You can't heal a body you can't.
We're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive. I don't think anybody in my circle understands impossible. Hello, what's going on, everybody? I need you to let me know if you can hear me and see me. Audio's good, visual's good. Before we get started, let me holler if you hear me. You can put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me well. If you can hear me and see me clearly, drop that 1 in the chat. All right, cool. Sorry, the camera was acting up again. As always, it just will not connect. I don't know why. I've tried 2 different softwares. It just wants to give us problems. Shout out to my mom in the chat. Stefania, what's up? How are you? See, I get to call my mom by her first name now that I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man now. All right, so guys, I'm gonna outline this call for you so that we are all on the same page. All right, because I was thinking, should I do this call live or should I do this call pre-recorded? I was gonna do it pre-recorded because this is a educational video, and I want to make sure that we're concise and we don't go too much all over the place. So even though I'm doing it live, I'm still going to stick to a outline, and I'm not gonna promise to answer all y'all's questions. But I'll do a little Q&A at the end of the call, but I'm not going to be able to do the presentation and monitor the chat at the same time. So just understand that if we're going to do questions, we'll do it towards the end for, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then we will have, understand that we are going to have multiple supplemental videos that are going to be coming out. So I'll be doing a video talking specifically about the products. So if you guys are wondering what to do with the products, how to use the products, we're going to be doing a supplemental probably tomorrow where I'll talk specifically about the products. And then we'll also do a question and answer call, right? Where you guys could just ask whatever you want. So just so you understand what this call is for. So today we're going to be talking about the preparation. Okay. And as you all know, well, if you're brand new, you may not know, but for those who are the OGs, preparation is probably the most important, one of the most important things. Preparation and refeed are the most important. They're more important than the fast itself. So the DR96 is not too much different from any of our other preparations. Where the DR96 gets a little different is when we start getting into the refeed within the cycle. So a lot of this is going to be information you guys have already heard, but if you're new to the challenges, then this is going to be new. So the first thing we need to do when we look at preparation is we got to focus on hydration, because hydration is going to be the foundation of everything we do. Okay, the body cannot detox, the body cannot heal, the body cannot release inflammation without hydration. So everything that we're looking to accomplish with the dry fasting, whether you're looking to lose lots of weight, whether you're looking to reverse disease, we have to have hydration as a foundation. In America, we are severely dehydrated. We walk around that way. It doesn't matter if you drink a lot of water, because the water that we actually consume is not hydrating us. So the body has to convert the water we consume, the H2O, into intracellular, cellular water, H3O2, whatever you want to call it, It has to convert it into something that the cells can actually utilize. And if you drink a gallon of water and it's only converting about 3% of that water into water that can be utilized, the rest is getting peed out, you're not going to be able to hydrate. Okay. So our solution is to take extra time and energy and put it towards making sure that you're consuming hydrating liquids. Okay. So hopefully that all makes sense. If you want detoxification, you want to supercharge your metabolism, if you just want overall optimal function, water is the key. Now, when you drink water out of a bottle, right? You've got a little bottle. Well, this isn't water. This is juice. This is some fresh squeezed juice. Ginger, apple, pineapple, grape. Man, it's delicious. Okay. And the ginger adds that nice spice. But when you drink water out of the bottle, it is what is called bulk water. It literally means that the molecule size of the water is bulky. So when the molecule tries to go get in the cell, it looks like a little sperm tries to get in the cell. It literally can't fit. It's too big. Okay. So this is where structuring water comes into place, because when you structure water, you're able to break up the bulky molecules and you're able to reduce the size so that the water molecules can actually penetrate the cells. And so that's one of the benefits of structuring water. Now, if you understand hydration and the benefits of hydration, then you can understand how much more benefit you get from structuring your water. But for today, we're just talking about being able to get water inside the cells. So we do recommend that you drink a gallon of water a day. All right. I know some of you have been hitting me up. Hey, Chris, that's a lot of water. I've never drank that much. How am I going to get it in? I understand. Now, Jasmine talked about a technique on our intro call where you just simply break up that gallon of water into very small increments and you drink that throughout the day during your waking hours. Okay. We do not want you trying to guzzle down half a gallon of water at the end of the evening because you didn't keep up with your schedule. It's better that you just leave it alone, start again tomorrow. All right. We're not looking to overwork the kidneys. So a gallon of liquid, I say, is the goal, right? So if you have some herbal tea or, maybe like some veggie broth or something like that, or some fruit juice, fresh squeezed fruit juice, of course, or even coconut water, all of that counts towards the gallon of liquid. And then we need to make sure we're not drinking more than about 16 ounces per hour. That gives the body time to begin the process of digesting the water. Anything more than that, you're just going to pee it out. Okay. And we've all experienced it. Imagine, you're at the park, you've been running around, sweating, playing basketball, tennis, running, whatever you do. And then you go and you grab a 20-ounce liter of water or whatever. I said a 20-ounce liter, a 20-ounce bottle of water, and you drink. And then within, 15, 20 minutes, you're peeing. Okay. So that's pointless. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help us at all. Now, I recommend distilled water. It is a recommendation. You don't have to do distilled water. If you don't do distilled water, you're still going to be able to get results. I highly recommend that you do not use tap water if you have the resources to do something different. If you can filter your water, if you could buy, some of the water, there's water companies out there that will deliver water. Any other option is better than tap water. Tap water is literally like putting liquid poison in your body. It really is that bad. Okay. So if you only have tap water, then don't fret. Use what you got. We're going to talk about some techniques to help structure the water, even though it's tap or even though it's filtered, even though it's whatever. So it's always going to elevate the benefit of the water. But if we can start with the pure base, that's better. All right. So here is the first technique I ever taught about how to alkalize the water and structure the water naturally. It's completely free. You get your water, whatever base you start with. Once again, I like distilled. You put that in a clear glass jar and you set it outside in the sun. Now you want to cap your clear glass jar with a cork, cheesecloth, some natural material. You don't want to use plastic. You could use glass, right? But you don't want to use plastic or anything like that because it can come in contact with the water and it'll leach into the water. And you got to remember, you're putting it out in the sun. So the sun will break down those inorganic materials from like plastic or, silicone or whatever, and it'll leach very easily into your water. And that's not good. So use a natural material. Cheesecloth is simple. Okay. Look, if you can even get a t-shirt, an old t-shirt, and you just rubber band around or tie a string around the mouth of the water. And then that way it can breathe because water needs to breathe. Okay. So you're going to sit it outside for, if you've got all day sun, you're going to sit it outside for about 8 hours. Four to 8 hours. Well, 4 hours. 4 hours is probably what you're going to get. Full sun, 4 hours. That's good enough. 8 hours is better if you can just leave it outside all day. I personally get multiple jugs of water, and I will do like 3 jugs of water, 3 gallons. I'll put them all outside. And then when I bring in my first gallon, I'll drink it, right? It says Monday. I'll drink my first gallon on Monday. I'll fill it back up. I'll put it back outside. Then on Tuesday, I bring in the next one. And that next one has already been outside for 2 or 3 days, right? So you always have water that's in rotation that's been outside for a couple of days. And that way, you know, you've gotten the benefit. Now, I have a really cool picture. I don't have it available right now. I'm not going to get it right now. But if you guys want to go on Instagram, go to a.healthy.alternative. And you gotta kind of scroll down. I've got a picture of a gallon of water that accidentally frozen that was sun charging outside around wintertime. And you can actually see the energy. It looks like a starburst energy coming from the center and just bursting everywhere through it. And so that's literally proof of what the sun is doing and what this process does to your water. Also, you could typically taste the difference in the water. So if you sun charge your water, especially either coming off of a dry fast or a long stint of water fast, you could usually taste the difference. For me and my brother John, the first thing we tasted was sweetness. The water was sweeter. And so by understanding that, you know, you're changing the composition of the water, you're making it more structured, you're getting better hydration. Sometimes you feel like what you're doing isn't doing anything, but when you have that proof, it really helps. So I'll see if I can grab a picture of that sun water and I'll put it in the group for y'all. Also, side note, if you guys see anybody asking for the video on the prep, please point them in the direction of this call once it's ended. I would appreciate that. Now, that was the first technique I taught for sun charging the water. We're going to spend a little bit of time on hydration. It's kind of the most important thing. All right. So we're going to spend a little time on it. The second technique that I used for altering the water was simply putting plant material in the water. Okay. So you distill your water. Now, if you want to, you can distill it, then you can sun charge it, and then you can infuse it with plant material in that order. Okay. You have to, those are separate processes, because I went back in the day, I would tell people to do this and they would distill the water and then put their fruit in there and then set it outside. You do not want to do that. So they're separate processes. Distill, sun charge, bring it inside, let it cold steep for 4 hours, and then, key limes, lemon slices, cucumbers, those all work. All right, you're going to let those cold steep for about 4 hours, and that will infuse into your water. You'll get electrolytes, you're going to get structure, and you're going to get a lot of benefits. If you want a quicker solution, get yourself some chia seeds, okay? Now, the type of chia seeds don't matter as much, but I like to use the black chia seeds, okay? And you just simply take a sprinkle. If you've got a 16-ounce bottle of water, you literally take a sprinkle. We're talking like a quarter of a teaspoon. It's just a sprinkle. You're going to put them in the water, and you let it sit for about 7 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes. You'll know it's done because you'll see the water glob around the chia seed. You'll see how the chia seeds swell up and they absorb water. What you are seeing around that chia seed is the fourth phase of water. It's the cellular water we keep talking about. It's the water that the body actually utilizes. Okay, plants make this water readily. So we're going to use the chia seed to our advantage. Once again, you could do all of these things. You could do one of these things, but I encourage you to do at least one of them. All right. The last thing that I will say is if you have the resources, okay, let me make this super clear. If you have the resources and you're a go hard like I am, you can go and get a water structuring device. There are many on the market. I have tried numerous. When I tell you all I've spent thousands of dollars on water structuring devices, I am being literal. I've spent thousands of dollars testing them. Which ones do I like the best? Which ones give me the best result? Which one is the easiest to use? And recently I had my friend Patrick come on the call, and he talked about his new water structuring device called the Aqua Energizer. You can put them on your shower. You could use a handheld. You could use a whole house. He's got many different kinds. And with the quality of the materials and the sacred geometry and everything that goes into it, his is one of the top tier water structuring devices, but that comes with top tier prices. Okay. There are other water structuring devices that are good that, you could maybe get used, but, they're made out of plastic. They're not made out of great materials. So I've never been a huge fan. I know when I talked about this on YouTube, somebody had mentioned that they use different crystals in their water to structure. There's many different ways to structure your water, y'all. You could literally tape 2 soda bottles together, like the 2-liter soda bottles. You could tape them together, put water in the middle, tape them together, and you swirl them around and make a tornado and let it drain from one side to the other, and that would structure your water. Okay, there's lots of different ways to do it. Me personally, I like gadgets, so I get the and I like investing in nice stuff. That's just me. Okay. Now, step 2. So we're going to move away from hydration. I think you guys get it. Step 2 is to cut out breakfast. We're going to start the elimination process. Now, breakfast is said to be the most important meal of the day, but the way I say it is breakfast is the most important meal of the day to skip. That's the meal you don't want to be eating. Okay. Why? Well, because based on the circadian rhythm, breakfast, usually we're going to have it first thing in the morning. A lot of us are waking up 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Our body is still in its elimination cycle, meaning it is trying to expel toxins. That's why you poop first thing in the morning, hopefully. If not, you want to get to there. You want to get to that point, right? That's why you urinate first thing in the morning. That's why sometimes you have crystals in your eyes first thing in the morning. You remember when you were a child, you would wake up and you would get little eye boogers? That's mucus. That's the body pushing mucus out through the eyes. It's cleansing the eyes. It does that overnight. If you no longer get eye boogers, that's a sign that your body isn't working optimally. And the reason I say that is because our air is toxic. We should be getting eye boogers. We are toxic. Our air is toxic. So why did we stop getting it? It's because the body started slowly breaking down. And we didn't even realize that was a thing that the body was doing to cleanse every night. We just assumed, I assumed it was just something associated with children. They snot nose, they crust eyes. That's just what they do, right? No, it is your body actually cleansing. So we want to skip breakfast. Now, what does that mean? Wait 4 to 5 hours after you wake up to have food. That's really all that means. So for those of you who are working night shift, you wake up at weird times, you just want to wait 4 to 5 hours before you start to eat. Give your body an opportunity to adjust, get the digestive system woke up. What do we tell you guys to do? First thing you do when you wake up, you have a nice glass of lemon water. Okay, you take a couple slices of water, you put it in your put a couple slices of lemon in your water. You let it steep overnight while you're sleeping. When you wake up, you hit it first thing in the morning. It's going to help lubricate your intestinal tract. It's going to help move the bowels. It's going to start hydrating you. Okay. So for those of you who are like, oh, it's hard to get a gallon in. Well, if you start the day with 16 ounces, you set yourself up for success. And usually when you wake up, you're thirsty. Usually it's easy to drink water first thing when you wake up. Okay. So we're going to stop eating breakfast. Now, if you guys want to do herbal tea in the morning, you can. If you got our appetite suppressant tea and you're like, Chris, it's really difficult for me to not eat breakfast, have your tea in the morning. Okay. There's plenty of different options. Worst case scenario, have some fresh juice or a raw piece of fruit. Right. And that'll help you. You could also do a smoothie. But, with smoothies and things of that nature, because they're they're so condensed. You get so much nutrition in a small package, you can over consume. So, smoothie is better than a Snickers bar, better than a McDonald's, whatever. But try to do the piece of fruit first. You know what I mean? All right. So that's what we're working on for day 1. Okay. Now, the next step, as we get into day 2, day 3, we're going to be starting to focus on portion control. Portion control is you training your body to eat less. It is an intentional thing. If you guys have never kept a food diary, this might be a good time to start. A lot of times we don't realize how much we consume. One of the main things that I hear from people is, Chris, I'm 100 pounds overweight, but I promise you I don't eat that much. Do you know what we find 9 times out of 10 when we really dig into people's diet? They eat way more than they're aware of. See, the problem is we're so used to grazing. We're so used to putting something in our mouth and not accounting for it that we literally forget. You know, sometimes you be on your way home from work and you don't remember how you got home. Like you drove, you knew it wasn't dangerous, but you just zone out. You've taken this turn 100 times. That stoplight always gets you. Like everything is so business as usual. Your mind just goes on autopilot. And we do that with our food too. The other thing I've noticed, people don't eat much, but they snack all the time, and it's always bad food, right? You're always snacking on bad food. So maybe you're not eating a whole pizza or whatever the case may be, but you're snacking on Doritos, or you're snacking on potato chips, or you're snacking on whatever. You guys know, whatever your guilty pleasure is. You think, oh, this is just a small thing, right? Oh, it's small, it's no big deal. Processed foods are very calorically dense. So you get a lot of calories in a small package. So even though it's small, it doesn't mean that it's not having a big impact on you. Okay. So we're going to slowly reduce our portion sizes. The best way to do this is cut out snacking in between. And then when you start eating, start shifting from your traditional foods, so your processed foods, your meat, your dairy products, your fine sugars, all the crap we eat, right? All that stuff. Start making a shift from that to your fresh produce. You can still cook it, you can season it up, you can make it nice and lovely, but shift from eating an entire plate of processed crap to eating maybe half a plate of processed crap and then whole foods, right? And slowly make that transition. I mean, we only have a few days with the prep, but over the course of 2 days, just slowly make that transition. 2 days, you might have 4 to 6 meals. You know what I mean? You slowly transition away from eating majorly bad stuff to eating majorly good stuff. The other thing you guys can do, now this is a whole different technique. If you want, you can look up these camper plates. Okay, there's these special plates that people use when they go camping. They're going to be blue in color. That color blue actually sates the body. So colors are vibrations, and vibrations impact our body, our physiology, our experience. That particular color blue actually helps to keep you sated. And also you'll notice that those plates are a little bit smaller than normal dinner plates. Okay. So just by using some tool like that, you might find that it's much easier for portion control. Because people always ask me, Chris, how do you do this? How do you do it right? Look, there's many tools available. If you know you struggle with portion control, take my advice. Do these extra steps. Even if you think it won't work, do it anyway. You have nothing to lose. All right. Obviously, we want to reduce the sugary drinks during this time. We want to reduce the starches. Okay. What did Dr. Sebi say? Any plant that has starch is unnatural. The reason he said that is because in ancient times, they would take 2 natural plants that would not mate. Okay. So this is not a natural mating. They would take 2 plants that wouldn't naturally mate. They would splice the root and they would bind it with starch. So now you have these starchy vegetables, these starchy plants, and we know that the origins are unnatural. So And there's lots of problems that starchy food causes in the system. It's okay in small quantities, but we want to start moving away from the potatoes and the rice and the pasta. And we want to replace it with high water content stuff like squash or steamed vegetables. There are so many different kinds of squash out there. Like, have fun with this, y'all. Don't feel like this is a restriction. See, everybody thinks, oh, it's restrictive. I don't want to do this. Listen, I never had a butternut squash until I started eating alkaline. I never had butternut squash pie. It sounded nasty to me, right? I wanted sweet potato pie. And I would even eat pumpkin pie. But look, they're all gourds. They come from the same family. Well, not the sweet potato, but the pumpkin. So the butternut squash pie actually made a lot of sense. And it was delicious. Chef's kiss. Butternut squash over pumpkin all day. Okay? All day long. So there are acorn squash. Acorn squash is delicious. You can even cube your squash and put it in the oven or put it on the stovetop, and it gives you a potato vibe, right? Depending on how you prepare it, depending on the type of squash. Of course, you guys know spaghetti squash. That's the one everybody loves. It mimics the stringiness of spaghetti. You do the spaghetti sauce and all that stuff. So there's that. Now, I'm going to do a full presentation talking about the supplies, but I wanted to do an honorable mention right now. We gave you guys the appetite suppressant tea, or we offered it to you. We also offered you guys SP6, which is one of the LifeWave patches. The reason why is because they both help control the appetite. We suggested as a suggested product, Sculpt from the Root Wellness brand. That one also helps to control appetite. So once again, if you know that you're not good with controlling your appetite, use the tools. They will help you control your appetite. One hack with the SP6 patch, especially if you guys got them, there are, I think, 4 different locations that you could put those patches. Find the one that gives you the best result. Everybody's a little different. You might find appetite suppression a little bit stronger on one area than another. So try out all the different spots with the patches. And then as you learn, when you start getting into your refeed, you'll know. It'll be dialed in. You'll know exactly where to put your patch to get the best result, when to drink your tea, bop, 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 bop. And then when you're not doing the challenge, you can say, okay, I'm going to grab some more of these products, because in your daily life, you can use these products. You don't have to just wait when you're doing a challenge. They're designed to be lifestyle tools. Okay. I ain't looked at y'all in a while. Let me see what y'all got going on over here. I ain't realized how much you think about food. Does Patrick have payment? Patrick is a very interesting guy. If you reach out to him, he might offer you a payment plan. I don't know. You know what, though? Hey, you know what I'm going to do for y'all? I have a code. Okay? I have a code. It's 10% off, but with the price of the products, it's actually a pretty decent discount. I'm going to give you guys this code. All right. I'm going to put it in the chat. So you go to the Wellness Enterprise. You look up the Aqua Energizers. And at checkout, you put in this code. And then also put in Chris James as a referral. There you go. That's the code. So I can do that for you. That's the best I can do. But he might have a payment plan available. You just got to ask him. Butternut squash soup is amazing. And it's an opportunity for you guys to try different foods you've never had before. Like, I never had a lot of these foods before. Okay? We're going to move along. I'm going to do my best to stay on schedule, y'all. I'm being responsible tonight. Here's a cool trick that I like to teach. Shift the timing of your meals, okay? Eat when your body is designed to digest food. Most people eat too late. Now, this is going to mess up your digestion, your metabolism. It's going to help you store fat. You don't want that. Most of us eat late, especially in our community. We eat way too late, okay? What you're more designed to do, and we could get way more nuanced. If you guys want to know specifically what your body is designed to how it's designed to process food best, go talk to Johnny Jupiter, my brother. Talk to John. Okay. He has a certification in human design, but that's a one-on-one thing. You have to go to him and request it, and that's a whole thing. That's a whole nother thing. But if you want that information, you can get it. We provide that as a service, and you can figure out exactly how you eat best and digest best. So if you know you have extreme digestion problems, you might want to schedule something with John. But as a general rule of thumb, it is better for you to eat closer to noon. The reason why is because the sun will actually help you digest your food. If you eat outside in a nice sunny place or in a sunny window, or just, during this, peak of the day, you will digest more efficiently. Eating later on in the evening is typically going to bleed into a different cycle, a different cycle of your circadian rhythm, where you're supposed to be absorbing. And if you do that, then you kind of disrupt the cycle, just like you do when you're eating during your elimination phase. All right. So you want to be eating your largest meal closer to noon. So by day 3, by day 4, start focusing on eating your largest meal closer to noon. Eat a small meal in the evening, right? So like maybe we're down to 2 meals a day. The dinner meal that you would typically have at night at 8 o'clock, have that at noon. And then in the evening, just have a soup and salad, something light. You know what I mean? And that will help you guys with digestion. It will help to accelerate your elimination. And this is going to help you detox. You're going to begin detoxing. That way, when you're fasting, you're not having these big, heavy detox symptoms. I will say this as a general rule of thumb. Do your absolute best not to eat within 2 hours of going to sleep. I mean, that's just as bad as it gets. When you eat right before you go to sleep, it's just, that's as bad as it gets. My mom, if you still on the call, you already know. She used to tell me, Christopher, she'd be like, now, Christopher, don't be eating right before you go to sleep. You're going to have bad dreams. I ain't never had bad dreams, but it's not good for your digestion. Okay. And I'm sure she'll be in the chat saying I'm telling the story wrong. She always trying to tell me I'm telling stories wrong. It's my stories and they're my memories. Okay. I'm just joking with y'all. All right. Step 5, day 5. Day 5 in this process, we want to be doing 1 meal a day. We call it OMAD in the fasting community. This is really the final step before we take it to the next level. OMAD is a very powerful fasting technique. Okay. Now, some people say, well, Chris, it's not fasting, you're eating. Granted, I understand, but we live in a day and an age where we have to break things down in terms people can understand. And if people are afraid of fasting, OMAD's like a great gateway. You fast for 24 hours because OMAD is 1 meal a day. Now, typically with OMAD, it does allow you, because you're only having 1 meal, it does allow you to have a large meal. And if you eat that large meal closer to noon, you're going to optimize your digestion. So these are how you stack the blocks together to get the most out of your preparation. Hopefully all of this is connecting the dots. It's all making sense for y'all. Okay. When you start doing OMAD, if you do like plant-based OMAD, you're going to see amazing weight loss just from that one day. Like you're going to see the body start to shrink. You're going to start to see, some detox symptoms, maybe some mucus. You're going to hydrate well, but you're also going to get nutrients in the body. Okay. So we've got a lot of people, they're brand new to dry fasting. They're very nervous. They don't know how they're going to go 96 hours. This is how you do it. You optimize your preparation so that you can pack your body with resources so that when you start the dry fasting, it's got something to work with. All right. I will also say this. If you guys either have a water enema or if you've got the resources to go and get a colonic, you can do that during this time as well. So at the end of your prep week, go get yourself a colonic, or if you've got an enema kit, hit a couple enema kits throughout the week. That way you can start flushing that stuff out of your system. All right. Day 6 of our prep. we are going to be doing what is called juice feasting. Juice feasting. You could also do juice fasting. Either or is fine. But I like to teach people about juice feasting because juice feasting is easy. It's easy. What you do is you drink half a gallon to a gallon of juice. Now, you could drink any juice you want on day 6, okay? I know. Chris, what about the sugar? What about the sugar? It's fruit sugar. Don't worry about it. All right? Go listen to some of Yaki's videos. See, I love that Yaki is a mainstream wellness coach or healer now. Because then I could just say, go watch Yaki's videos. He'll tell you all the science. He'll break it down for you. The sugar does not interact with the body the way that a Snickers bar does, or ice cream, or even rice sugar. When you get sugar from fruit, the body digests it and metabolizes it in a completely different way. So you don't got to worry about it. As a matter of fact, John, right? When he was dealing with prediabetes, he was a symptomatic pre-diabetic, which means he basically had diabetes. He used orange juice to reverse as a tool to reverse his diabetes. So that blows that whole thing out of the water. He would fast and do orange juice. Okay. Now, if you're nervous or if you have a bad reaction, you could do low glycemic juice. It doesn't have to be sweet juice. You could do green juice. You could do, you could do beet juice. Have fun. Try something new. This is a great opportunity to try something new. So that's day 6. Any juice you want. Have fun with it. If you want better detox, do like apple juice, do grape juice, do orange juice. Those are all great options. Now on day 7, the final day of the prep, now we're going to calm it down. We've been ramping it up. Hype. We're going to calm it down. We're going to give our body green juice, low glycemic juice, low sugar, okay? Green juice, alkaline, right? We're about to get into the fast. We don't want to go into the fast with all this sugar. We're going to do, and then you guys don't have to drink juice all day long. Like you don't have to, I'm not asking you to juice feast on day 7, okay? Hopefully by now, your body has begun to get acclimated to not eating processed, super dense foods, calorically rich foods. Even with the juice, it's starting to get off of solid foods. As your body starts to transition away, you should be have an easier time. You can still use your appetite suppressant tea. You can still use your Sculpt. You can still use your SP6 patches all the way up until day 7. Once again, we're going to do a video specifically about the tools. We'll do that tomorrow. I'll give you guys more in-depth information about that. A lot of people haven't got their tools yet. We're not even going to start looking at the tools till Wednesday. So that's where we're at. We're going to have our green juice, and we're going to prepare ourselves to do this dry fast. Okay? I cannot think of a better way to usher in a dry fast than on H3O2. I can't. It's perfect. It literally is perfect. Now, I don't know if I'm patting myself on the back. I don't know, but I can't think of a better way. All right. So this is going to help to stabilize the blood sugar. It's going to reduce withdrawal symptoms. Remember, y'all, like a lot of the detox symptoms you experience in the first 3 days, those are withdrawal symptoms. Y'all drink a lot of coffee, tea, things of that nature. You drink, you smoke, whatever. That you're going to go through withdrawal symptoms. You're on different medications, pills, whatever, over the counter or prescription. You're going to go through withdrawal symptoms. So that's what we see. We also see the body having a problem, switching from, sugar to ketones. And you see a little wonkiness happen there as well. If you all want better options, if you're taking, medications for headaches and things of that nature, if you want better options, make sure that you're reaching out to either Shell or Jasmine. Shell is probably more busy than Jasmine. Jasmine, if you're watching, I don't know if I'm setting you up or not, but Jasmine also is a lifestyle coach in addition to the other coaching that she does. So if Shell is busy, she usually gets back. But I'm just saying, Jasmine's another option. If you guys want to learn about different essential oils you could use in place of medication, you can reach out to those ladies and they'll help you. Okay. All right. I feel like I've been talking 100 miles a minute. The preparation, there is a mental aspect to the preparation I want you guys to understand. And you want to be doing this mental shift as you are doing your prep. I used to play a game with myself. Okay, so we're still eating, we're still consuming food, right? What I would do is, as I'm pushing out breakfast and I'm pushing out dinner, or I'm moving dinner forward or whatever, as I started to feel hunger pangs, I would play a game with myself and I would pretend I'm actually fasting. Even though I'm still eating, I would just pretend. I would take myself there mentally. And I would say, okay, I'm fasting. Let me see how long I can go before I eat. Let me really dive into what my body is experiencing. What are these sensations truly? What's really happening? And what I found is, over the course of about 30 minutes, the hunger pangs go away. What we are experiencing are called ghrelin spikes. So your ghrelin is it's a digestive fluid, among other things, and it helps prepare the body for digestion, and that's what causes the hunger pangs. Typically, it's going to happen at the same frequency that you eat. So one of the major benefits of the prep week is to start reducing the frequency that you eat so that you have less frequent ghrelin spikes. Now, when you change the quality of the food that you eat during this prep, your ghrelin spikes aren't as intense. So if you look at this holistically, you're going to decrease the amount of spikes and you're going to decrease the intensity of the spikes so that when you're fasting, you really don't feel it as much. Now, the beautiful thing about dry fasting is your digestive system gets an opportunity to go virtually completely to rest. So you're probably not going to feel the hunger pangs anyway. But this is how we like to prepare. All right. Make sure that you are journaling during this time, right? Like I said, you could create a food journal. This is a great time to understand, well, how much food am I really consuming? You know, oh, you just have a little small piece of bread. Put it in your journal. Like, track it, and you'll learn, oh wow, I eat way more than I thought I did. This is the reason why I'm having trouble losing weight. You have to be cognizant of what you put in your mouth. And so I want you guys to make sure you put that energy on that. Okay. All right. This is pretty much it. If you guys have some questions about the preparation, you can go ahead and start throwing those in the chat now. I know you guys might have questions about other things too. Let's see here. We've got about 15 minutes left. So we'll do some questions and then we'll wrap up. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to just take a second and kind of try to highlight some of these questions you guys already put in here. Yeah. Yaki is the truth, man. Yaki is the truth. He is one of the few. And there's lots of people in the healer community, the wellness community, that are they're just biting each other. They're just reading books and regurgitating information. They don't practice what they preach. Yaki is one of the few that's really out here doing it. Okay, real quick. I see this. I'm just real quick. It's not a question. I have bad dreams. Juniper berry. You have bad dreams? Juniper berry. Get yourself some juniper berry. Okay. We get ours from doTERRA. doTERRA is a therapeutic grade essential oil, so you can take it by mouth. Juniper berry. Question: a little salt on the tongue takes away headaches. Can we do that during the dry fast if we get headaches? No. I really don't want you doing it unless unless it gets unbearable. Look, here's the thing. A lot of you all have experiences with fasting, but you don't have experiences with dry fasting. So, and a lot of you all have experiences with fasting and not doing a preparation or not doing it properly. So, two things. Number one, make sure you do the preparation properly because our goal here is to avoid getting in this situation in the first place. Number two, dry fasting is a different experience than water. Yes, it's more intense than water fasting. However, there's pros and cons to both. You might find that you don't have to worry about them. I did see on YouTube someone that mentioned that dry fasting causes them to get headaches. Listen to your body, don't dry fast, whatever. I said, listening to your body is good. However, let's not ignore the fact that the body is telling you that you're dehydrated because dry fasting doesn't cause headaches. I dry fast, I don't get headaches. So if you dry fast and you get headaches, that's just a sign that you're dehydrated. You need to focus on your hydration, right? Now, we talked about being able to use essential oils. Peppermint essential oil is great for headaches. You can put it on the temples or on the back of the neck, or it's close to the headache that, wherever you kind of feel it. And that's an option so that you don't put anything in your mouth. But worst case scenario, if you're going to do salt, make sure it's Celtic sea salt. Put the little salt under your tongue, let it dissolve, and then I recommend that you drink some water with it. All right. I am due to start my cycle on the first round of fasting. My guess is I should not dry fast during that time. Which dietary? No, dry fast. Yeah, go ahead and dry fast. I know there's many people that recommend different things. Here, all I can tell you is everybody has a reason and a basis for saying what they say. It's important for us to experiment, do our own experimentation. You're here to dry fast. So go ahead and dry fast. Now, if you start to experience something extreme or intense, then we'll pivot, okay? But go with the plan first. Also, as I said earlier, make sure you lock into the preparation properly. Most people who fast, most women who fast find that fasting makes their cycles easier. Okay? Especially if you do a preparation and you're not, it's not your first detox for the first time ever. Typically they find that their cycles are easier, or they find that their cycles get better with time with fasting. What about couscous, quinoa, black rice? Do we stay away from those two? Black rice is fine. Quinoa, try to get the tricolor or the non-bleach stuff. Couscous, I believe I'm not 100% sure about couscous, but right now I'm gonna say that's fine. What frequency? Okay. What frequency of bowel elimination to expect during dry fasting? I would say don't have an expectation. Don't have an expectation, okay? A lot of people freak out about their bowel movements on fasts in general. You get an opportunity to see gut motility. You get an opportunity to see how long it takes for food to go in one end and out the other when you start fasting. With dry fasting, I would say you're likely to see the bowel movement slow quite a bit after day one, but that's not necessarily the case. But it's very possible that you might have a bowel movement day one of your dry fast and you don't have another bowel movement until you eat. Here's what we do to rectify that. I recommend a water enema once every 2 days if you have a kit. I recommend a colonic once a week if you don't have a water enema kit. But even still, the colonic is deep. It's going to get deeper. So you could do that once a week during this challenge. We have some other options. If you guys have the caster pack, see, this is the reason why we offered so many tools. There's a lot of really useful tools that you can take advantage of during dry fasting prepping and after and all that. If you have the caster pack, make sure you're wearing your caster pack, not during the dry fasting days, but after. If you have the caster pack, it means you have castor oil. So not day 1, but day 2 of coming off your dry fast of the refeed, you can have a little tablespoon of castor oil. That will move your bowels. But you need to get something in your stomach first, start building up that bowel fluid and stuff first. If you guys have the Restore, and once again, see, you kind of getting me to go into the tools topic, but if you guys have your Restore, we have allocated 2 sachets of Restore at the end of each week. So take your 2 sachets of Restore, and then if you're going to do a colonic, take the sachets of Restore the night before you go and do your colonic. These are all amazing tools to help keep you flushed, so you don't have to worry. If you don't have your bowel movement on the dry fast, don't worry about it. You'll be okay. I am sun charging my water with cheesecloth covering it. Will the water be okay to leave it for 4+ or more days while I'm dry fasting? I have multiple jars. Yeah, that's fine. I used to leave my stuff out there for a week. There are people that teach you don't let your sun water go in the moonlight. Listen, I am a realist. I look at nature, sun, moon, the water gets it all. Water gets it all. Okay? I think that people will tell you not to leave it out in the moon because it discharges the sunlight. I would say it balances it. That's how I look at it. I love the full cycle. Okay? And I think sometimes we don't fully understand. And there's benefits of just sun-charged water. There are. But I like balance. And I like what I can do indefinitely. And I find that when I charge it with sun and moonlight, you get an amazing balance. You get great energy. And you don't have to worry about changing up. You could drink that all day for the rest of your life. It's okay. So. This question, I'm not too sure about. How can you get enough water in your system if you've had weight loss surgery many years ago? I'm assuming maybe it's just because you're saying that your stomach is smaller. You would get it in the same way that maybe like a child would. You just take it slowly. The goal is to sip water throughout the day. If you guys can just get in the habit of sipping your water, you'll be fine. The gallon of water is a recommendation. You don't have to meet it in order to be successful. Okay. The reason I do the gallon of water is because most people are severely dehydrated. We're not sun charging our water. We're not adding chia seeds. We're not doing the things that make it more hydrating. And then we eat dehydrating foods. So you just need so much more water. And I want to make sure y'all system is lubricated before we go into the dry fast because you're going to detox a lot. Okay. So don't harp too much on it. Do your best, but your best should be, okay, I'm waking up. I'm hitting my lemon water. Okay. I'm on my way to work. I'm hitting my next bottle. Okay. It's lunchtime. I'm hitting my next bottle. Like you should be drinking throughout the day. And as Jasmine mentioned, it takes about 10 days for the body to adjust. So yes, you may run to the bathroom a little extra, but the more energy and effort you put towards structuring your water, the better it will absorb, the less you run to the bathroom. Can I do the Epsom salt cleanse? I remember doing that during the 21 day. If your goal is to do it during the prep, you can if you want. Okay. It's not really my favorite thing to do before a dry fast because our goal is hydration and the Epsom salt flush will dehydrate you. So I wouldn't recommend it. Then that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't recommend it to move your bowels on your refeed. But you could do it coming off when we cycle off of the dry fast and we're going back into like, regular eating. If you want to use that tool, you can. Or if you do it early enough in the process, so like if you do it tomorrow, then that'd be okay too. Good questions, y'all. Great interaction. For some reason, I feel like we have a really, really intelligent group here. Is there anybody new on the call? And I'm not saying new people aren't intelligent. I'm just saying, like, people who have been here for a while, they kind of know what kind of questions to ask and they have a better understanding. But maybe I just explained everything really well. I don't know. We got any new people? If you're new to the challenge, put a 2 in the chat. How about that? What kind of water should we use for the enema kit? Is tap okay? I clearly did not do a good job demonizing tap. Let me explain something to y'all. Tap water, when tested, third-party tested, they found anywhere from 80 to 200 different chemicals in the tap water. Do you know how many ingredients are in tap water? Or should be in water, I should say? H2O. H2O. That's all the ingredients that should be in water, okay? Now, some of the ingredients they found were pharmaceuticals, Adderall, stuff like that, anything people flush, birth control. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant, but you're getting birth control through your tap water. Rocket fuel. When the trains crash and all that fuel or whatever goes into the water, it'll seep into the water. Like, you find all kinds of nonsense in it. Tap water is trash. The last thing you want to do is put it up and exit. That's the last thing you want to do. So do distilled water. For this challenge, I recommend not doing the coffee enemas. I know some of you all are huge fans of coffee enemas. I know, okay? I'm not a huge fan of coffee enemas, but typically I don't really have a problem if you guys want to do it. I'm going to recommend you do not do the coffee enema, all right? Just use plain water. That should be fine. We're just using water as an irrigation. Is it okay to do a magnesium bath during the dry fast? Y'all trying to push the limits. Y'all are trying to push the limits. Push it to the limit. Listen, I wouldn't recommend it. And if you're going to do it, if you want to do it to test, because I don't have a problem with y'all testing. If you want to do it to test, do it on your last dry fast day. Because as Johnny mentioned on the call yesterday, sometimes we push too much and then the next day we're ravenously hungry or we're really tired. Remember, dry fasting in general, it's like the body performing light surgery. It is not a game. It's nothing to play with. So I understand where you're coming from and why you're asking the question, right? So there's nothing wrong with the question. I just don't want you guys to overdo it. That's all. So if you're going to play with this, I would do it on the last day of the dry fast. That way, you're going to be hydrating the next day. And what you want to do is you want to see how you feel. How did that experience make you feel the next day? Moon water is great for manifestations. There you go. Can we eat tofu? No, because we're focusing on, listen, I made a bold promise to you all. The promise is not guaranteed. Ain't no guarantees. But I made a bold statement. And it was that we're going to lose 43 pounds in the next 25 days. Now, if you guys don't have that much to lose, clearly we understand that. We've already gone through that. But if you've got 100 pounds to lose and you're trying to peak out, I don't want you eating processed food during this time. Can you have tofu in the prep week? Yeah, so that's fine if you want. But we're not going to eat it during the refeed, if that's what you were asking. Why didn't you drink water today? What did you drink? You supposed to be practicing dry fasting, or what you got going on over there? Steve said, I need you to get some right meow. Ooh, look at all the newbies. What's up? Welcome, newbies. Listen, I am so grateful you all are here. I hope that tonight's call was informative. I hope it created some clarity. Guys, remember to check out your guides, okay? Reference your guides. Reference, and if you didn't catch the live from the beginning, please go to the beginning. This is going to do the full preparation. You guys were great. Excellent questions. Lots of newbies tonight. All right. Listen, I have had a very long day. I have been putting packages in the mail all day. I had calls upon calls. I'm tired. I had a long night. I'm tired. I'm glad you received your package. It was sent with love. Some of y'all's packages might look a little wrinkly at the top where the tape was taping. The tape wasn't taping, but everything was packaged with love. And hopefully you guys get great benefit from this. Let me know. I'm brand new. Are we doing OMAD now? Okay, so for clarity's sake, you're brand new. Go to the guide, go to the prep guide. It will kind of say day 1, day 2, day 3 for you. Today, I used the word step 1 and step 2 and step 3 interchangeable with day 1 and day 2. So just go through the prep if you need more clarity on that. But usually we start doing OMAD on day 5. You can start it on day 4 if you want. Okay, there's no hard guideline there. The goal is just to get you from eating 3+ meals a day down to eating less meals, right? Less meals a day. It's a gradient that we're creating. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, I know y'all keep asking me questions. I'm tired. You know I gotta recharge, man. I'm not Superman. I appreciate y'all more. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the challenge. Stay tuned in, and please share this video out with other community members. If you see somebody else in the challenge, hey, I don't know about prep, tell them, hey, go to the events tab, go to past events, and go watch the stream talking about refeed and preparation. All right. I'm tired. I gotta go. Peace.
I'm alive.